Welcome to the beginning of a new era. Last year, the International Board of Sim Racing was formed, creating a brand new sim racing pyramid. At the bottom, regional F3 Junior series such as WMSC 3 America and Europe, where drivers can join teams or even participate as guests to hone their skills. The best of those drivers progress up through the ranks, and the end goal is here, the top of the pyramid, the World Monoposto Sim Racing Championship, which goes green for the very first time today in Albert Park, Melbourne, Australia. I'm joined today by Robin Ciuman. Robin, how are you?
I can't tell you how excited I am for the start of the World Monoposto Sim Racing Championship Series 2023. I am so thrilled to see which cars and which manufacturers came out on top. It's after preseason testing and with their design concepts. It's just a really unique concept. I've never seen it anywhere in sim racing. So I'm really excited to be part of it and to join you in the virtual commentary box. So yeah, very happy to be here.
Fantastic. And yeah, it is a really interesting concept, and we'll get into it a little bit more in a minute because it's much like another pinnacle of motorsport we may all know and enjoy. It's so much more than just what happens on the track in this series. It's going to be really interesting. But as mentioned, this is round one of a 15 race calendar. And we've got a really interesting calendar for you this season, starting, of course, in Albert Park. We've also got Kyalami up next. It's going to be great to go back to Kyalami. Bahrain, which is a fantastic circuit. Montreal, Watkins Glen, which is a personal favourite of mine. Jerez, an old F190s favourite. Monaco, obviously, in there. Just before Spa, what a double header that is. The Hockenheim Ring, Estoril, Silverstone, quite late in the season compared to where it usually sits in the calendar, thanks to British weather, but less of an issue here, or maybe not, as the case may be. And then Monza, Road America, and into Interlagos, and finishing up at Suzuka. Great to see Interlagos and Suzuka as the two final ones. Growing up watching F1 in the 90s, it was
I hear you very low, guys.
A lot of fun.
I see you're very low.
I'm very low.
Very low.
Sorry about that, guys. I've just been told that my sound is a little bit low, so I'll try and sort that out for you as we go. But yeah, so that is the calendar we have up this season. Now, as I mentioned, alluded to there, weather is going to play a very interesting part in this, because it's not just the case of everything's going to be dry. We do actually have a weather forecast for today's events, and the weather is issued, the forecast is issued ahead of each race, and it's based on the statistical data of the location in the respective month, and it's prepared by a neutral person. So we have a weather forecast to show you right now. And it being Australia, round one, it's not going to be too controversial. It's hopefully going to be pretty sunny. Basically, cloud is the most threatening thing that I think is going to happen to our drivers today. But yeah, keep an eye on that as we go through other places around the world this season. And to get you acclimatized to where we're going to, here is a quick track day. Welcome to Albert Park.
It's that time of year again, but this time is quite special because it's the debut of the World Monoposto Sim Racing Championship, also known as WMSC. This series marks the flagship of the IBOS organisation, and we are absolutely thrilled to begin this new era. As you might have already noticed, the season opener is, surprise surprise, good old Albert Park circuit in Melbourne, Australia. As we know from the past, many exciting races have taken place here, and the WMSC paddock is stacked with big talents, so it won't promise any less. With all its speed, sweeping corners, highs and lows, we present to you one lap of this wonderful circuit, on board with Lorenzo Turi from Cesario. Here we are crossing the line at maximum speed for the start of this lap, throttle down within the first DRS zone on the start-finish line, and very late braking to turn 1. Use some of the apex curve to get the car as straight as possible on exit, taking also the exit curve on the right. Full throttle to turn 2 and the second DRS zone, position well for the apex. This will be important because positioning the right way will help you not to touch the sausage curb on the exit of turn 3 without losing much speed. Pace up right away to the next 2 corners, which are mostly high-speed corners, all the way to the new back straight introduced in 2021, with even more overtaking potential on this part of the track and new possibilities to outclass each other. The apex for turn 11 has gotten a bit tighter, but all in all, a very much light left-right corner. DRS zone number 3 all the way down to turn 13, with a pretty much late braking point, exiting by taking the exit curb on the left. High speed towards turn 14 and a hard braking point on turn 15, missing the apex could land you on the grass. And there we go to turn 16, positioning right away on the apex, get as much grip as possible on the exit, finally crossing the line for 1 lap at Albert Park.
And with that, we jump straight into qualifying. And immediately I can see a yellow flag being waved. Have we just come straight back into missing nonsense? Is that how we're going to start?
I can't see anything suspicious for now.
I think we're okay.
I think I was, yeah.
We're good. Here we
Just
go. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, just go ahead.
Yeah, no, everyone's just making their way out now for the first laps. So very interesting setup here. We've got a 20-minute session. Everyone is basically qualifying on race fuel. There is no refueling in the race itself, but we'll start the race on the fuel they had when they set their first fastest lap. So they've had to do a little bit of calculations. Obviously, they want to have the lowest amount of fuel to get a fast lap in qualifying, but also they need to make sure they have enough fuel to get to the end of the 300-kilometer race. So very interesting setup.
Yeah, and actually that should be good for us as spectators, because that will allow us to see a lot of cars running, so they won't just wait until just at the end of the qualifying session to set their lap, because, as you said, the fuel amount that is set for the start of the race is when they start their first flying lap. That means we'll see a lot of running to get that fuel out and to have as light as possible car towards the end of the qualifying session, as we just see Daniel Benton-Reader, who will set the first flying lap of the day.
And Civ get the car lined up in the exit of turn 16. A little bit of a shake there. Power towards the line. Now 1 minute 20.8 to set the benchmark. Very nice to see all purple sectors there, but we know that is very much going to change.
In fact, it has already changed. Moritz Kropp, I think, has just set a purple middle sector.
He's looking very stable coming into the final corner. Uses all that exit curb, carries a lot of speed through. This is looking good. And it's only second fastest though. Lorenzo Turi has gone to a 119.5 as we were watching that. Definitely one of the people to beat today.
But I think the fastest drivers to expect are Volborn and Polens, so it will be exciting to see when they set their first fast lap, how close they can get to Turi.
But a yellow in sector 3. That's cleared very quickly. It's just a minor off. So as well as the fuel, we've got another couple of interesting things dictating not just the on-track performance. First of all is the design philosophy of each team. This is not just a, one-make car with different liveries on. Each team has had to pick their own design philosophy. They have development and engineering points. They have a virtual budget, and they have to develop their car over the course of the season, starting with some simple philosophies and basically, how much downforce are you going to start with? Are you going to go for a fast straight line speed car, or are you going to go with a good cornering car and then develop from there? And so that's going to really be interesting to see, what direction everyone goes in, how much variation we'll get in terms of, performance track to track. And also everyone's got different engines. There are 2 different engines on the grid, SCMM and Cesario. And again, that could completely affect performance. At the minute, it's only a minor difference. Development, again, could grow as the season goes on. But at the minute, I believe Cesario has a slight performance advantage.
Yeah, it's like 6 horsepower. Their engine produces like 6 horsepower more than the SCMM engine.
So we'll have to look at the Cesario cars, including this one, Scuderia Cesario, obviously with a Cesario engine. See if that helps them, especially in the fast back straight section of this track. It'd be interesting. Faster purple sector. Oh, and Turi throwing everything at it in that final corner. No, he was slow in the middle sector, but he still managed it. Brilliant. 119.1 for Lorenzo Turi, and it's already hotting up now, the battle for pole position.
And you can really see it. I think the 3 teams to watch are Team Holland with Yanis Volbon and Pascal Polens, Lorenzo Turi for Scuderia Cesario as well, and SCMM. Cesario and SCMM should have the fastest car, or are expected to have the fastest car. But Team Holland, they should have a slight driver advantage. And you can already see it, the top 3 only separated by less than 1/10 of a second. So this is already a very brilliant qualifying session, I think.
It's great to see that there's fine margins at the front. And Pushka's on a good lap. 2 purple sectors here at the minute 14. What's he going to do?
Oh,
fantastic. Wow. First one into the 118s. 118.9, Philip Pushka. Epic Scuderia. Fantastic lap from him. He's a very experienced driver, competed in the virtual Le Mans 24, so might be a bit of a dark horse here.
Yeah, let's see how long he will remain a dark horse, because right now he's just got beaten by Pascal Polens with a 118.8, so another 10th up now. But that was a very impressive lap by Pushka.
Really good. They're finding their limits and then just pushing it as they go. Obviously, as the fuel goes down throughout the session, they'll be able to go a little bit quicker. This is really good, really interesting stuff. Got a few yet to set a time. Still waiting on Volborn. Here we go. So Allwood just pushing it a little bit hard. He's obviously not going to be the best he's capable of, but is he still going to set a time? No, he's going to bail out. He's the man we're still waiting on to really, put his name in the mix. Reigning VFC champion. Volborn and Polens, very good friends. Like you say, could be a very strong team throughout this season.
Will also be interesting to see how their relationship plays out if they should both compete for the title. We've seen that in the past in racing. Relationships turn sour. I don't think it will be the case here, but still very interesting.
You'll have to
watch
wonder,
these two.
Yeah, absolutely. Who's going to? Is there going to be team orders, or is it just going to be, well, let's fight for it, but just, don't crash into each other? The one golden rule for teammates. Prop heading to the line. Decent lap, an improvement. Still 6th. Volborn is back out on track, I believe. Murno also yet to set a time.
Wow, Puchka just put another lap in. 4/10 out of Poland's.
What a performance so far for Filip Puchka in this qualifying session. He was an experienced driver, but early signs they'd not particularly tipped him as maybe the very front runner, but incredible pace so far.
Do you think we will see a 1:17 towards the end of the session?
Considering the way the times have been dropping already, I think it's very possible. We're only just over halfway through. We're starting in the 1:19s. It's possible.
Yeah, I think so too, because we've seen some incredible drops of the time already. And if I may just add, the sound of the cars is incredible.
Oh, I love the sound of these cars. It's brilliant the fact that the decision's been made that they're running with basically a choice of either V8 or V10 engines. Basically, the advantage of a V10 is, you get a bit more power out of it, but as a result, it is heavier. And here is Wolfborn. So, again, 2 green first couple of sectors.
But he's very close.
Look at those margins.
Will the final sector make a difference?
Oh, he's bailed out
heading
again.
into the pit again.
He did look a bit messy coming into 13 there, but I thought there's still very, certainly wasn't as bad as when he kind of overcooked it and went wide. I wonder why he's decided to bail out of that one. Because he could have at least gotten a decent time on the board there, considering how close he was to Puchka. Sure, that would have been second, no?
Yeah, I think so too. An easy second.
That's half a second down at the minute in third.
Let's see that first sector time.
That's down the minute, but even still, this is a chance to get himself on the front row of the grid if he can keep up at this pace. Through the completely flat back stretch of the circuit, carrying a lot of speed into turns 11 and 12. Very nicely taken.
Incredibly calm how he took them.
Makes it look easy when you're doing that.
It really does.
It's not. For a good lap here, so 3/10 down, and
into the pits he goes.
It's all or nothing clearly for these guys. They don't care if they're only a few tenths off. They clearly want the good lap. Now, Fournier.
That might be a good one.
Oh, okay. So graphics there were telling us he was on a fast lap and up, but no time set there. Did I miss something there?
I don't think so. Maybe it was just some kind of glitch, but it should be the first lap of Fournier. Let's see what he's capable of.
I mean, teammate Puchka is surprising everyone. Can Fournier surprise as well? Half a second down at the moment.
Drop just set a time to put him into fourth, just behind his teammate.
Change of direction through 11 and 12. Just got to throw the car through and hope it goes with you.
That might be a lap that's good enough for P8, I think.
Got a much better middle sector than first. Let's see if he keeps it tidy. Thank you, Jeffrey, for not pulling into the pits. We can see someone cross the line.
Finally.
Here we go.
Yes, 8th.
Yeah, good prediction. P8 it is. Oh, and Wolfborn,
finally.
Out of nowhere, it's purple, and he stayed out.
What?
Oh, and again,
Oh,
we've
okay.
been absolutely sold a dummy by the graphics there. Okay, this time must be on a flying lap. Let's stay with this. This could be really interesting. Here we go. Up towards turn 5, also known as Whiteford. Keep the throttle in it here as we head towards the end of sector 1. Let's see what that first time is.
Did we get a first outlet? Okay.
Oh, now we're on to outlap. Okay.
In the meantime, Krop put his car on the provisional first row in second, only 0.2 down from Pushka.
Gap's coming down.
Oh, that might be a good lap as well. SCMM turning it up right now.
Not far off. A little bit of speed into 15. Very tidy through 16.
Yeah. Third. Just behind his teammate.
Very good work from the SCMM boys there. Very good indeed. Pushka will just be evaluating now. Does he need to push? You can see that people are getting closer to him. The fact that he's been able to set that lap on what will have been more fuel than what everyone is running now, if they're running more laps, is very impressive indeed. In fact, Pushka's done 4 laps. Everyone else is pretty much verging on double figures. An incredible effort from him.
By the way, a good effort also by Lucas Murno, who just set his first timed lap, and he puts it into 8th. Good lap, even though he's still pretty new to R-Factor 2. That was a very good first lap.
Very good indeed. I'd be happy with that if I was him.
Yeah. Volborn still without a time. He's the only one that's left right now.
At the minute, he's apparently on an outlap in sector 2, so hopefully he's running round to it. And he's run 10 laps, and obviously not set a time in any of them. Is he just trying to hold his hand back and run the fuel down, and then set 1 lap at the end and give people, no chance to respond?
Maybe. There he is.
A risky strategy.
But I think he has to set one now, right? 2 minutes 30?
Yeah, this must be it. Unless we see a mistake, I'd be very surprised if he bails out. Not sure what the situation is on track limits on the exit of turn 1 there, if that's too far, if that's being looked at by the stewards, but just have to keep an eye. He was very deep into Jones.
I think I've seen many cars do that before. I don't think these times were deleted, for now at least. Oh, Turi might be on a good lap here.
Very much an improvement. What's he going to do?
4th.
But yeah, again, it still has Volborn on an outlap. Surely he's going to have to.
There's a purple sector by Krop.
CMM continuing to.
Oh no!
Pushed it too much. Turn 12 on the sausage curb. That's a shame. He's still got time though, as long as his car hasn't sustained any damage.
How unfortunate, but it happened so easily through turns 11 and 12. Very fine margins. Yeah, he's going again.
See how much time that's cost him.
Where's Volborn? On track.
Oh, Vela. Oh, brilliant. Only 1/10 down now on Pushka. Pushka at the minute is not coming out again. And can I just say, Pushka, it says down here that, is that set on a medium tyre as well?
Oh, wow, that would be impressive.
That would be very impressive indeed. Poland's, though. Purple first sector, this could be good. Although I'm now, my timing screen is saying outlap, so I don't want to be fooled.
Yeah, don't be too excited. He didn't get any indicator for the second sector. Yeah, it was an outlap.
Here we go. So he's just got across the line there.
Yeah, he is leaving it late.
Now at the minute I've got timing for Walborn, who is on a lap. And Walborn goes 4th at the death.
Oh, wow.
Just the 10th down. So he leaves it to the very end with 1 flying lap.
Turi with the purple middle sector.
So we've got a few people to look out for here. We've got Poland's, Turi.
So this will be the first one.
What's it going to be? Powers towards the line.
And
he's done it!
Provisional pole for Turi.
And will Pushka will he be upset that he's not maybe risked it to go out on track to try and defend? But either way, it's a front row of the grid for now. I believe Poland's is still on the lap.
Poland's
oh no, he's bailed out.
He's come in.
Pivo's unfortunately slower, so it doesn't like an improvement for him.
I don't think there's anyone out there able to beat him. Yeah, I think that's it.
Lorenzo Turi, the reigning WMSC 3 World Tour champion, was incredibly quick at last year's Sim Racing 500 and was a favourite to win the event until a late crash tangling with a back marker. He's incredibly quick. We always knew he was going to be a factor here. And at the very end, by 0.08 of a second, he takes the first ever pole position in the WMSC Championship. Fantastic.
Congratulations to Lorenzo Turi, but also Filip Puška. What a lap. And if that really was set on a medium tire, that is all the more impressive. And here are the full results of the qualifying session. Turi, Puška, Vela, Benton Reader in 4th. We missed that. Walborn, Grob, Has, Poland's, Mono, and Fournier. These are the top 10. And then we have Zanini, Activo, Dezo, Fekela, Fonvent, Reeve, and Aaron Smith. So the streamlined cars in 16th and 17th. And yeah, that was it for qualifying.
So as the drivers have a quick warm-up session, we're going to have a quick pause. There's going to be an interim video from Simon Core, and then you will rejoin us for the first ever WMSC race from Albert Park. Don't go anywhere.
So with qualifying out of the way, let's take a quick look at what the World Monoposto Sim Racing Championship actually is and who are the favorites for the upcoming championship. The 10 teams competing in the WMSC 2023 were not only in a position to tailor the cars to their liking in preseason testing, but they're also going to be in a position to upgrade the cars race by race with different aero packages, as well as try and improve their staff and facilities behind the scenes. This means that compared to many other sim racing championships, especially on R Factor 2, different teams will have cars with different performances, strengths, and weaknesses depending on the weekend. Things to keep in mind are the fact that people are going to qualify with their race fuel, as well as the fact that there is going to be no refueling for the races themselves. Also, teams are going to be in a position where they have to pick their tires ahead of the upcoming weekend. But with all these rules, regulations, and developments, who are actually the favorites for this year's championship? Here is a list of everybody who's going to compete in the 2023 World Monoposto Sim Racing Championship. You can be sure that Holland Racing is going to give everybody else a run for their money, especially the defending world champion Jannis Volborn. Nobody's disputing his speed, his consistency, his raw talent, or the championships he's won in other series that make him the literal #1 on the grid. All that's left to see is whether he's going to be the inaugural champion. His teammate Pascal Polens might also be in for a running, considering that he's been about on pace with Volborn for quite a few years and has been friends with him for set time as well. Cesario is going to bring in Lorenzo Turi as the golden boy, who's the reigning WMSC 3 World Tour champion. Now, Turi is incredibly talented and has performed well on both Automobilista 1 and R Factor 2, but the likable Italian has chucked away 2 races in the past few weeks with the Sim Racing 500 as well as the Macau Super Prix. Epic is bringing in 2 top-tier drivers with Geoffrey Fournier, a former winner in the GPVWC, as well as Philipp Puschke, who's also a huge name in the world of R Factor 2. Depending on how well their car performs, they're also considered potential championship candidates. Other potential podium candidates include Dania Bentenrieder, Aaron Smith, Jörg von Wendt, or maybe Philipp Feckler. Throughout the 2023 World Monoposto Championship, you'll get to know all the teams and drivers in more detail. But for now, let's have a look at the Melbourne story beats. Melbourne has been an iconic opener in Grand Prix racing for quite a few years. Opened in 1996, the street circuit has been very popular with drivers throughout its time, though it's not always been in a position to produce great racing, especially in modern times. Interestingly enough, both Jacques Villeneuve and Lewis Hamilton were able to celebrate fantastic debuts in 1996 and 2007 on the street circuit. Now the question is, can Lorenzo Turi repeat said trend with his first race for the Scuderia Cesario in the World Monoposto Sim Racing Championship? Furthermore, Melbourne races tend to be incredibly chaotic. Some might remember the 2002 Australian Grand Prix with only 6 cars finishing the race, or the many retirements of the late 90s and early 2000s. It's new cars, a new championship, a new layout, and new rules for many drivers. Will they keep calm and stay collected, or are they gonna celebrate an open lobby type festival for the opening round of the World Monoposto Sim Racing Championship? Well, I don't know, but you're about to find out.
Here we go then. Welcome to the first ever World Monoposto Sim Racing Championship event at Albert Park, Australia. The formation lap is underway, and ahead of us 300 kilometers or 57 laps. And what an interesting race we have in store.
Yeah, there is someone starting from the pit lane, I think.
Does
Who was that?
so interestingly, Volborn and Puschke, after we left qualifying, why are they out of position? Well, that's Jack Reed, but we've got Puschke down in 17th and Volborn in 16th. What's happened there? Now we were informed. Oh, we have a penalty. So we have a penalty for changing tyre package mid-session. So that's a perfect segue to explain one of the interesting things about strategy that comes into play. There are essentially 2 sets of tyre packages for these races. So there is a super soft and medium package and a soft and hard package. And basically you can either pick to either have the more aggressive 2 compounds or the more durable compounds. And now I believe the majority of the field has gone for the more aggressive, but we have quite a few, and more now as it turns out, who've decided to change it for the race. Robin, I believe you've got some info on who's on the harder package.
Yes, so from the information I have from the live timing, these are Jannis Volborn, Danny Weller, Pascal Polens, and Gonzalo Scativo. So these are the ones who chose the 2 harder sets. I don't know if that has changed now in between the sessions.
But yeah, so Yeah, Volborn is on a hard package, and Pushka's penalty is for change of setup. So very interesting. So, he managed to set that time on a medium. I believe Hess set his time on a hard, which, look out for him in 5th. But yeah, so interesting. We've got a slight change of order. Couple of cars in the pit lanes. But here we go. Everyone is lining up. And here we go. Revs go up, lights go on, and for the very first time, we are underway in the WMSC at Albert Park. Oh, and it's an incredible start. Turi's bogged down off the line. Vella's through, Crop's ahead. Vella leads into turn 1. Penalty administered for Dziu. We'll come back to that. But Vella leads Crop from Hess and Turi. Benton Reed in 5th, Poland's in 6th. What happened to Turi off the start there? But everyone seems to be through safely. No Martin Brundle incidents coming through into turn 3. The pit lane cars bringing up the rear.
What a start by both SCMM cars. They are up 2nd and 3rd already. And Crop is chasing down Weller.
Oh, and there's going to be... These front 3 have immediately flown away, and I wonder if people are going to start looking at a move into 11. This is not the place. Goes side by side, and he's had to bail out of it. I think that was always going to happen. Really, the place is you got to wait, and turn 13 is the place to go. And we're going to see teammate on teammate action. No, Hess backs out.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. Turi, though, on pole, has now dropped down to 8th.
What's gone on there?
There we go.
That turn 11-12 situation gave Weller a huge advantage. He's up 1 second from having them side by side going into turn 11. So that really helped him out a lot.
It was the wrong place to try the move, it has to be said. But, long way to go. No refueling, but obviously tyre wear is going to be the thing that everyone's got to keep an eye on. Weller has started on the soft, so he is on the more durable of the package, whereas Crop has started on the medium, Hess on the medium as well. There is no obligation to use both compounds, it has to be said as well, I believe, so they could just stay on one compound for the entire race. It's just their options that are available to them.
Oh, here is the slipstream. Again, turn 11. Ooh. 2 wheels on the grass there.
He's done a brilliant job to get up to 7th already, but
and that's Turi coming through.
Is he going to come back at him into 13? He's up the inside. Good racing there. Turi knows to leave it, but he'll get another chance, I'm sure. Excellent recovery from Volborn already.
Yeah, really.
And Pushka into 9th.
Oh, Crop with the fastest lap so far. So he's catching up to Weller again.
Okay.
We just got the information that Aaron Smith has received a 10-second stop-go penalty for an incident in the formation lap.
Fortunate Smith running at the back, so he's not going to lose much apart from time, but hopefully he can still mount a comeback from there. This is the most interesting battle on the field right now. Volborn and Turi.
And what a high-profile battle it is, but it's only for 7th. We expected them to battle on the top. But now they both have a recovery job at their hands.
Turi's going to be wanting to try and get past him. He's on the racier, the grippier of the 2 tyres. Volborn, I think, will just be happy to maybe, run consistently and run long on these tyres before he has to make a stop. But as we saw, he's happy to fight. He's not just going to let Turi go, as Vella responds with a fastest lap, as you'd expect, in clear air on the soft tyre. Good response, and he's holding Crop at the minute to around just over half a second. interesting. We don't really have any information or data as to when the tyres are going to go off, when we were expecting stops. It's all going to be kind of a bit of a guessing game from our perspective, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes and how it all unfolds.
But I think what we can say already is that SCMM, the Crop and Hess, might have a strategic advantage over Danny Weller right now, seeing as as Wallbone's trying to make a move against Myrna, and this time ahead of turn 11, he gets it done.
He gets a buffer between himself and Turi, very good. His teammate ahead of him. Yes, agreed. At the minute, this race order is, by no means guaranteed to stay this way to the end with the different compounds. And, when people's tyres run out, you have to think, is it going to be a straight one stop for people? Are there going to be multiple stops? Surely those are on the more aggressive tyre compounds might consider it.
Wallbone instantly with a fast step now.
Definitely hiding a little bit of pace back in qualifying, and he definitely felt confident if he felt he could change compound, just take the penalty and work his way through. You never know what could happen on lap 1, but he's worked his way through very nicely indeed. Very interesting now.
Are they racing? Or are they...
No team orders at SCMN, clearly.
But these three were very close. Something must have happened to Crop. A slight mistake somewhere. The gap was down to 0.2 at one point during that lap.
Yeah, you're right. He must have... Now a train of cars. This front...
Oh, wow.
Front 4. Front 5 even, if you like. With a charging Wallbone behind them. Brilliant.
Yeah, he's not far off.
I wonder, what's Hess thinking now? If he feels like he could be slightly quicker, if he could make a move, is he wanting to get Crop out of the way?
Well, last lap it certainly looked like we're going for it. I don't think there are any team orders as of now.
Slight opportunity wasted, as well as been able to re-establish over half a second gap back to Crop.
Oh. Yellow's popping up in Sector 3.
Oh!
There is an off moment.
Crop just overcooks it on the exit of turn 13, and teammate Hess is through.
That certainly solved that situation. But
that is going to be very frustrating for Crop. And again, it's the question of, what do you do now? Because Weller has been very much given the opportunity to get away. Do you think now, well, you know what, Hess? Just go for it.
Yeah, let's see, how fast can he go? And there is ooh, that was close.
Benton Reader having a look up the inside into turn 3. Seeing that Crop's a little bit unsettled at the minute. Oh, and Benton Reader going a bit wide over there. Exit of turn 5. Sees the opportunity, and Benton Reader's on the soft tyre. Super soft tyre, in fact. So he should be very racy indeed.
Yeah, but I think Rollins will get him. Oh, no, he's just lost a lot of time there. He was so close, ahead of 11.
No, he's not been able to stay with him down to 13. That's the place. Oh, we've got a...
Oh, what?
Is that a stopped car in Sector 3?
Who was that?
We had a yellow flag. It's not there anymore. What's happened there?
Was it Smith? No.
Maybe he must have just been bailing out. If he's
Yeah.
he's had to have service stop go. He's way off the back. It's okay. Smith's just being considerate and getting well out the way of the leaders.
The gap between Weller and Hess when Hess made it past his teammate was up to 1.5, 1.6. Now it's down to 0.7 again. So for now, he's catching up.
Can be very helpful not having mirrors full of his teammate. He's able to get his head down and go, and it's doing very well. Now we've got a replay now. Is this what happened in Sector 3? Is this Smith?
Yeah, that is...
Just bail,
okay, yeah.
Considerate, bails right out. And fair play to him. This is the
Well
best
done.
way.
Yeah.
Good to see. Very good to see indeed. Keeps the flow of the action going at the front. And Hess now down to 0.3 of a second. Krop though set the fastest lap. This front three cannot untangle themselves. You've got quite a few supporters of Lucas Murno in the chat. Welcome all. Running well in 7th at the minute. Basically, no, it's points paying positions for the top 8 today. Everyone down to 8th place getting points.
Yeah, about Lucas Murno, incredible performance for him in 7th. Even considering that their car has been tipped as not the greatest one to have. Oh,
Hess is alongside into probably again turn 11.
Oh,
Bails out though.
Yeah, well done. And now
he will have. That's a very clever move because he'll have settled Weller through those corners right on him. Surely he's going to look, but Weller goes defensive into 13. Holds him off for now.
the switch. Nah.
Crop's back in the party as well. Oh, brilliant. What a great early fight we've got in this race.
Yeah, let's see how long these super softs. No, sorry, softs from Danny Weller hold on to it. The longer this goes, the more of an advantage Hess and Krop should have. At least that's the theory.
It is, and they're obviously happy they're not worried about playing the long game, because obviously the more you fight, the more life you take out the tyres, but they're clearly not concerned about that at this moment in time. They want to get into the lead, clearly.
But that's great for us as spectators.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So here we go. Approaching 11 and 12 again. What's Hess's attack strategy going to be this time? Slipstream pulls him in. Ski across that sausage curb, but rides it out nicely, but it's not as smooth as Weller, and I think Weller is safe this lap. Better Julia from SCMM and Better Julia, followed by the 2 Holland Racing Team cars in 5th and 6th. Turi in 7th. Oh, and now Turi's gotten past Murno. The Murno down to 8th for Infernal Void Racing in the last points position. It's got Philip Pushka, who was so impressive in qualifying, bearing down on him.
Also, that very long train has kind of dissolved. His Benton reader dropped back a little bit. I don't know if this is one of the early signs of the softer compounds starting to drop off a little bit.
Potentially. First real kind of point of interest will be the first planned pit stop we have. We do have that Feckler in the pits. I wonder if that is a scheduled stop or... Again, another lap down, and again, Hess is right there, but just frustratingly can't seem to get into the position to make a move on Weller.
Well done by Danny Weller to not get nervous about these SCMM cars bearing down on him.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah.
2 cars within a second of him, and he's holding it. Two tenths. 2, 3, and 4. We have a replay.
That's
this
Lorenzo
is the
Turi's start.
Yeah, just really got bogged down there and absolutely swamped into turn 1. And it got worse from there. I think he went down as far as 8th to begin with. It doesn't seem too bad now. If he's going to have a bit of a moment into turn 3.
There's someone on the outside.
To relinquish another place there.
I think there was Benton Reader there. Oh.
People have just got more momentum from those first corners. Hurt him all the way down through the first sector. And still running in 7th. I'll be very disappointed.
There's another.
Oh, yes.
Now around the outside of 11. One of the Team Holland cars.
Nearly another. And is it going to be another? No, I'm just to hold it from there. He's a good driver, Lorenzo Turi. I'm sure he will be able to work his way back into it.
But he can't keep up with Walborn as around the outside. Alexander Hess tries it.
Only a few spots to try and make the moves here, and he's maybe going to have to get a bit creative if the usual ones aren't working. We've already seen a few opportunistic moments into 11. It's just, I feel like you need to really have the slipstream and get the move done in advance of 11. Otherwise, you're just going to get run out of road. They follow through. Again, he's not quite close enough.
Overtaking certainly got better with the new Albert Park layout, but it's still not an easy track to make a move, and you can really see that right now.
But again, still full props. We've got to remember the SCMM cars are both on medium tyres. It's not the grippier tyre. So, yes, it's kind of balancing itself out. Yes, they've got slipstream, but they don't have as lively a tyre. It'd be interesting to see what this battle would be like if they both... Oh, and Hess going a bit deep into 2. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it would be like. They were all on the same tyre. Would have Hess been able to make a move by now? Pushka is past Murno. From Murno down to 9th. We've got a really compelling front 3 battle. But when you see the performances of people like Perlins, Walborn, Turi, Pushka, any one of that top 8 still might have a chance today. Still that unknown of what's going to happen when the pit stops come.
Yeah, that can certainly shake everything up. But I'm a bit surprised as Turi isn't making any more progress, really. Still in 7th, with kind of a gap to Poland's ahead of him.
Yeah, and interestingly, both of the Holland Racing Team guys have started on the hard compound tyre. Turi's on the medium. Walborn is hunting down Benton Reader, who's on, is that super soft? It is.
Yeah, it is.
On Pushka, Pushka coming to life. He's certainly not made as much places up as quick as Walborn has, but he's still there. And we rejoin this lead pack. Bella Hess Krop.
Oh, he just went through the grass there. And now, maybe Krop can get that second place back.
He's going to have the momentum. Are they going to fight it, though?
No,
That's, good move in formation. Yeah. Not going to waste any more time there. Yeah. They've already made that mistake once today. Oh, what's going on here? Is this Collins or Walborn?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's Walborn's helmet? Or am I wrong?
I believe this is just live back to Walborn in fourth. Oh, Walborn is past Benton Reader. That is why.
Ah, yeah.
He's cleared Benton Reader. Be interesting to see how that happened, but that's brilliant from Walborn. Again, what a recovery back through the pack. The confidence to make that change strategically. And at the minute, it's paying off because he's got the pace on the hardest available compound.
And he's right with the top 3 ahead of him.
He will lead this race at one point, barring any mistakes, because, you know, he's got the pace, and he will obviously be able to stop later than any of the people ahead of him. Assuming he's not absolutely racked those hard tyres to death, but...
Yeah.
And he is honing in on Alexander Hess as well.
Yeah, I think strategy-wise, he has some very good chances to fight for the win of this race right now.
It's been a very...
The others...
Also, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's just been a very impressive drive again, though, from Danny Vella in the better Julia car. I expected kind of solid midfield running from both of them. And, yeah, they've both been pretty quick, it has to be said. He was successful in VFC, then left in the middle of a title fight. But needs time to adapt, but he's adapted very well indeed.
Yeah, both better Julia cars, in fact. With a very, very strong qualifying. I think they locked out the second row.
Fine performance. I've raced against Daniel Benton Reader before. He's a solid driver. It's a good lineup. It is a good lineup and good performances from both of them. As you can see, Walborn's on the back of the front lot now. He's right behind Hess. Incredible driving through the pack in this early phase. Is he going to make
he's
a move?
trying it.
And the SCMM cars who've started the race really strongly, and they now have to look behind them.
Yeah, was it maybe too much fighting with Weller?
40 laps to go. We've not seen any of the leaders pit as of yet. There's still lots of unknowns how this is going to play out, but you have to think Prop has got to try and make a move, because the longer they sit behind Weller, the more they're going to be at risk of Walborn making a move.
Yeah, it certainly won't help their tyres either. Sit behind there and fighting.
All of the points positions separated by just over 8 seconds. That's incredible.
Oh, big off
Prop has
there.
overcooked it through 11 and 12. Walborn has the opportunity. And now they've been split, the SCMM cars. Wonder what happened there. Was he just too close to dirty air? Did he misjudge it? But, I mean, to be fair, he's been lucky that he's able to just carry on, because that could have been a race ender if that had gone any differently.
Yeah, I think he was very close to the wall there at the exit, rejoining the track. Walborn gained another spot thanks to this. He's now in the podium positions. Here's the replay.
Here we go. Oh, and he's just taken a little bit too much of a shallow entry into 12. Sausage curb has bounced him wide, down to 4th. Yeah, very fortunate that that wasn't a race ender there.
Oh, there is a... I think he has... Yeah, he's alongside. He's alongside, and that may be it. Yes.
Can he get the movies on the outside, though?
Oh, God. That will be close.
Volbon's there as well.
Wow! Oh, my goodness.
What a move.
And now Wolborn with the... Oh!
They're going 3 wide down to 13.
And it's a 1-2 for SCMM now.
Rupp holds off Wolborn. And we have a change of leader in the most dramatic of circumstances. We said before that Hess or Kropp is going to have to, you know, do something a little bit special because Weller was really...
And he dives into the pit lane Weller as well.
That must be it. Must be it for his tyres. A good stint overall, it has to be said. Yes, he's lost the lead at the end, but he's absolutely pushed those soft tyres as far as they can go. So 20 laps for the soft tyres.
Incredible by all 4 of them, but this didn't end in a crash because they were very, very close there. 3, 11 and 12. Oh, and he has to defend from Poland's now.
Interestingly, Poland's has also stopped. He's on the hard tyre. And Poland's gets the move done. Brilliant. Sabella has gone for the soft tyres again. He's obviously going to be looking to get those up to temperature. So once they do, it'll be interesting to see if he can come back at Poland's.
Oh, Fakela.
Make sure they leave each other space into turn 1. Back looking around the outside into 3.
Well defended there by Reeve.
Wolborn's in the pits.
Yeah.
Pushker up to 4th now. Past Turi.
Oh, wow.
Obviously going to be a bit out of sync as others have stopped. You're getting flashing yellow in sector 3. I'm not sure what that is. It's intermittent. It might just be back markers. Murno in the pits now. Started a flurry of activity.
And Pushka going for another spot. Against Benton Reader. He should have the better line into 11, and he is passed already ahead of the corner.
Great move.
2 positions gained by Pushka in that 1 lap. Oh, and now Benton Reader also having to defend from Turi. He's through as well.
Now, just before then, we saw a penalty come up for Murno, unfortunately. I'm not sure what that was for. Benton Reader dives into the pits. Benton Reader on the super soft. So he's made those super softs last as long as Weller felt comfortable on the softs. If anything, he's gone for a couple laps longer, but again, as you can see, lost performance at the end. It says penalty for Turi now.
Oh.
Now, we can usually hear the race director when penalties are administered. I've not heard anything as of yet as to why either of those have been given. So it'll be interesting to find out why that is. Out comes Murno.
Did he just serve his penalty? Because I think he was in the pits, wasn't he?
Was.
Another penalty coming up.
This is interesting. I'm not sure if this is a display issue, if these penalties are actually happening. We'll try and let you know as to why that is. And, you know, they are legitimate penalties, what they're for. Turi, though, in the pits now. He comes out just behind.
Oh, and it's getting
Dennis Wilborn.
close with Poland's.
A little bit of a slide.
Ooh.
2-1, he's going to try and defend. Got to
Around the
leave
outside
space for
Poland's.
Poland's. And sweeps round, beautifully done. Took the opportunity there.
Very clean racing in general, what we've seen so far. No major incidents.
Absolutely, even when it's got a little bit hairy, everyone's managed to recover it well. Everyone knows the limit of when to leave a space. It's been very good, very respectful racing. Well, now all over the back of Turi.
Weller lost out to Turi with his earlier pit stop.
Yeah, I wonder if he's maybe, I don't know, if he pushed the tyres too long. He's just losing the time, and then Turi's just been quicker.
I don't even think Weller had that much of traffic ahead of him. I think the road was pretty clean up ahead of him when he came out.
The minute the SCMM guys are staying out, and they've got a 6-second gap back to Pushka. Jeffrey Fournier in the Epic Scuderia car. Those top 4 haven't stopped. The 2 Holland racing cars have, Wilborn and Poland's. Turi yet to stop on my... Well, it says... Actually, no, we've just seen him come out the pit, so unless that was him serving his penalty, because it says it's not come up on live timing that he served, had a pit stop. I'm imagining that is him serving the penalty.
Yeah, I think so too. What I'm kind of surprised about is that Volborn has made a stop despite starting on hards. He's on the hards again. There's Murno making a move on Cartivo.
I'm going to ask the question about those penalties, see if we can get some clarification on that.
And now Turi just went into the pits again, and this time, I suppose that's for his pit stop.
Must be.
Yeah. Yeah, there he stops.
So, I believe those are game-administered penalties. And again, one from Murno. So as I mentioned, the race directors will whisper to everyone if penalties have been administered by them. But the game is administering those penalties. So I'm not sure why. Usually, it is... like the automatic stuff in game would, I'm guessing, would be stuff like either track limits or pit lane speeding. It must be track limits for Turi because he definitely not stopped ahead. Murno did stop around that time, so maybe his was a pit lane speeding.
As well.
Poland's just been given... Oh, wow. Okay.
There's Krop. Oh, he's missing his front wing.
Oh,
What's happened there?
very interesting. The man running in second place, missing a wing and having to come in. What has happened? And now we have 2 Epic Scuderia cars in the top 3. Prop, though, now going to get repairs and have his first stop of the day. He rejoins in 10th.
Oh, that was a Kostek there.
Oh, wow. Oh,
That was
dear.
Must have been Fekela rejoining the track there, hitting Krop.
Fortunate.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate.
Krop now down in 10th. He's put on the medium tyres. So hopefully he can work his way back up, but that's going to have really affected his race as Hess comes into the pits now. So this is going to be really interesting. Philip Pushka inherits the lead. Qualified second, demoted to the back for a setup change penalty, breaching Parc Ferme, but has now worked his way back up, leading the race. Not stopped yet, running on the medium tyres. I'm getting a slight delay on my feed here, so I'm just going to quickly reset it. Robin, I'm going to hand over to you as I do.
Yeah, so right now we're seeing the battle between Danny Weller and Pascal Polens. These two both already made their pit stops. Of those people that have already pitted, Volborn is the first one on track in third. So Pushke and Fournier still without any pit stops so far.
So interestingly, I'm getting some information now that the penalties being administered are track limits penalties.
Okay.
So it must be repeat offending of track limits. So I imagine that's going to be trying to take a bit too much out of places like 13, maybe 12, because you've seen them take a lot of curb there. Or maybe in some cases it's taking too much exit curb.
Volborn has just taken the lead of this race as Pushke made his pit stop, and he must have passed Fournier on track. So Volborn now in the lead of this race.
And
not the way we're supposed to, like he stays out the longest, but he already made his pit stop, or one pit stop.
Yeah, he's in line with everyone else in terms of pit stops, running on the hard tyre and in the lead of the race now. I wonder what happened to Fournier, unless he was under pressure already. Fournier is, yet to stop. Benton Reader with a penalty now. And in comes Fournier. I was going to say he's going to have to come in at some point. 28 laps on those medium tyres. See where he feeds back out. But now it is a Holland Team Racing 1-2. We knew they were going to be some of the strongest competitors in the field. And they now lead, both stopped, both on the hard tyres. Yannis Volborn, Pascal Polens.
Ooh, interesting battle there out of the pit lane. This is actually full position. Fournier and Bandenrieder, and Turi gets involved as well.
Oh.
Well, that might be dangerous, but
They've managed to stay side by side all the way out.
Now he runs him out of road, Bandenrieder. Yeah, and Turi says thank you very much.
Benton Reader from Turi from Fournier. Turi surely going to be looking to try and make a move. All of them though on the same tyres. The compounds up on the left now on the tower.
We also have two retirees. We really didn't have that on screen. Aaron Smith and Philip Fekela. I wonder if that had something to do with the situation we've seen between Fekela and Krop, where Krop lost his front wing.
Yeah, I think Vettel must have already been in trouble.
Yeah.
And then, trying to get back on track, unfortunately, just caught Crop, and that might have been it for him. No idea what happened to Aaron Smith, it has to be said.
And Hess finds himself behind Vela once more. We've seen that before.
Anyone ready for round 2?
Fortunately, Krop is now missing from that scrap, but Pushke has taken his part. We just received the situation between Benton Reader and Fournier when they made it out of the pit lanes. They kind of had their scrap. And, Benton Reader, Fournier was a little bit off track there, but we received the info that there is no further action taken by the race stewards.
They've been given an unsafe release there, but they handled it pretty well, considering.
Yeah, that too. There were more than one situation.
Exact same setup as before. Weller on the softs, Hess on the mediums, and Hess make a move. He was able to, but only at the very end of that stint where the life of those tyres probably going off for Weller. So everyone in the top 11 has had their first stop. Only Kativo, Dezu, and just Kativo and Dezu, only people not to stop. People to look for further back, definitely Krop, who was running well in the early stage of this race. But unfortunately, a rejoining Philip Feckler caused issues there as Davide Zanini's given a track limits penalty there. But yeah, Krop hoping to work his way back up, but at the minute, Allborn looks like the man to beat. He's, started from pretty much the back row, run on the hard tyres, worked his way up, and now leads by 4 seconds.
Yeah, and he's building that gap. On the timings sheet, I can see his last lap was like 7/10 faster than the one from Weller.
It's an insane disparity considering the contrasting tyre compounds.
Yeah, but Weller was in the pits around lap 20, I think. And we're approaching lap 40, so I don't know if this is the tires already giving in. Again.
It doesn't even seem that long ago that Weller was in the pits. It seemed like that first stint really ran.
There was so much going on after that first pit stops. He's close ahead of turn 11. But he stays behind. Very smart by Alexander Hess. Oh, but now he has to look in his mirrors as Pushke is trying around the outside of turn 13, but he manages to hold on to third.
Oh, and Pushke's had to back right off there. I think he took way too much off the inside of turn 13 there. I reckon that is one of the main places they're getting these track limit penalties from. Because, he took so much out of it, and he's just had to back right off, and he's not with them, probably to just avoid getting penalised by the game. That's not being administered by the race stewards. They are administering their own penalties, but there are some that are just automatically pinged. And, Pushka just deciding, I don't want any of that. Thank you very much. I'll be back shortly. I'm sure these two are fighting with Weller and Hess. Hess again having to get creative to try and get around Weller. I imagine Hess is sick to death of the back of that car.
You can really... Yeah, I think so too. But Weller is picking up the pace again, because the gap to Walborn has decreased a little bit again. It was almost 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's interesting to wonder why, because it's fluctuating a lot. It was 3 seconds a lap ago, then it's gone up and gone down. It's fluctuating quite a lot. But in the meantime,
Pushke again close to Hess, sorry.
It's okay.
Same result as before.
I do wonder if Hess just maybe gets a little bit too close to the back of Weller through 11 and 12, and because of the dirty end, because of having to fight the car a little bit, he then immediately has to go on the defensive. It's almost like you need to be a little bit further back through 11 and 12, get those flat, and then you can carry some speed through on the run down to 13.
Yeah, I think so too. He's really struggling out of 12. Now...
Hess is looking now. Tries to hold it around the outside. If he can have the line there, he's going to have the inside. Brilliant from Hess. Fantastic move.
Well, has to defend from Pushke.
This is going to be interesting now on the run all the way down to 11. What can Pushke do, or will he hold off?
Ooh.
Looking, he might try and just put him offline through these corners and then make the move later. Oh no, he's going to go right.
Wow!
Round.
If that works, incredible.
Philip Pushke, take a bow. Great move. Goes defensive into 13. And they've cleared. Danny Weller, what a move.
That
Brilliant.
might have been the move of the day. That was incredible. We've talked about turn 11 a lot before, and we thought it wouldn't be possible, but that was brilliant.
I mean, again, props to both of them, because it's about, knowing when to kind of back out. If, Weller could have very easily tried to stick his nose in, but I think he knew at that point he had to just slow off, leave the space, and yeah, great racing from both of them. Fantastic. Bit of a chat going on about the cars themselves. Everyone's gone for a V8. There are 2 engine makes on the grid, SCMM and Cesario. Everyone's gone for the V8 over the V10. Basically, the power to weight ratio is preferred of the V8s there. No one going for a Ferrari V10 style powerful but explodey combination. It's a shame.
It really is. Crop on his way back after that Ooh, and he runs wide once again. We've seen him do this before. And that... Oh no, how unfortunate. That must have been 1 track limit too many. Just received a penalty.
Yeah, it must be just carrying way too much speed and gaining an advantage from the exit of 12, where people are getting tagged. There you go. So is this to serve the penalty, I imagine, or is this...
Wait and see.
Yep, drive through.
Yep. Oh, how unfortunate.
He's in the mix early part of this race, in the top 3. Rejoins, though, back in 9th, but unfortunately a lot further down on the pack. He's got a bit of a fight to get in for points today. Joining Lorenzo Turi now. He's trying to chase down Daniel Benton Reader, both of them on the medium tyre, both stopped once. So we've got, about 20 laps to go. Are we expecting another stop from people? I mean, considering the timing of everyone's first stops, and I don't feel like anyone's really switched compounds, oddly enough. They're not obligated to switch between the compounds.
I would be very surprised if Weller goes to the end. I mean, look, he's losing lots of time. He was right there with Hess and Pushka before. Now he's 5 seconds down on Pushka.
Poland's in for a pit stop. It is. What's he going to go on to? He was on the hard tyre. Looks like hards again. The 3 hard tyre stints for Pascal Polands.
But I think that probably answers our question earlier. I think we will see a second stop from most of the guys.
Interesting, just a bit of background information. We mentioned that obviously Kropp had an incident with Philip Fekler. Philip Fekler retired at hardware issues in the end that forced his retirement, but he's also issued an apology to Kropp, an SEA member, saying he misjudged the situation. You know, tried to stay out of the way and just misjudged it. So yeah, he apologizes for that, and you know, fair play to him to just, you know, take that on the chin. We all misjudge situations sometimes, and you know, fair play to him to come out and say that. Question in the chat about refueling. Nope, no refueling. It is all about the tyre strategy. So I'll just go over that again. I mentioned it earlier in the race, but obviously it's we've been here a while. So there are 2 packages of tyre compounds. Essentially, there is the more aggressive compound the more aggressive package of super soft and medium, and then the more durable package of soft and hard. And drivers have to choose one or the other of those 2 sets before the race weekend. Walborn actually changed his decision mid-race and started at the back. Doesn't seem to have hurt him too much, as he leads by 1.9 seconds at the minute. But yeah, that's basically the decisions they've got to make in terms of tyres, but they are not obligated to use both compounds of that package. So I believe Walborn and Poland's have both just ran hard tyres all the way through. Poland's the first man to do his second stop that's still running. So he's in 8th at the minute, and you'd expect him to run to the end on those tyres. So he might make his way up in these final stints, but how many of these people are going to try and do a final stop later, but go on their respectively most aggressive tyre? You know, Weller, as you said, stops at lap 20 and is starting to fall back, and he's on the soft tyre again. Surely he's going to do another soft stint. And actually, as we speak, I see in the pits, I believe that's exactly what he's going to be doing right now. He's done 2 20-lap stints, and he's going to probably go on softs and run to the end. And out he comes.
Also interesting to look at the top right now, because the gap between P1 and P2, when Hess moved up into second, was about 4 seconds, and now it has just dropped under 1 second. It's just around 1 second right now, but we will see another battle for the lead, I think.
And this is interesting, because I'd be very surprised if, unless Walborn is slowing his pace to go, right, hard tyres, stay on these to the end, it'll be interesting to see how much he fights this, because Hess, surely on those mediums, has got to do one more, especially because of how aggressive he's been, aggressively he's been driving. So it's interesting. This could very much be just for the net lead, but it might be a case of, is Hess going to try and go by and go quick enough to do one extra stop, or are they both on the same strategy? No idea of knowing what that's going to be, but we'll find out now with how hard Walborn defends this.
I think he just was defensive going into turn 3. A little early on the turn in there. Pushka is now also just behind Hess. So another 3-way battle.
We have been treated to quite a few 3-way battles to the league today. It's lovely to see. And yeah, just to confirm in chat, yes, there is no rule implementing you have to use 2 different compounds. They can absolutely run one of their allotted 2 sets throughout the entire race. We have a yellow in Sector 3, which is where we are now, but it seems to be intermittent, so it's cleared. Now, interesting to note that Poland's is, come onto his, second set of hard tyres and set the fastest lap very early. Vella has also stopped ahead of him on the soft tyres. So we should be expecting, if they're going to stop again, the second round of stops anytime now. Only 2 people in the entire field on the orange hard tyres, and rather aptly it is the orange Team Holland cars, both of them Wellborn and Poland's. Poland's has gone for his second set as Vella sets a fastest time, those softs lighting up nicely for him.
A 117 actually, 117.8.
And obviously because they did qualifying on race fuel, we're going to start seeing fastest laps that eclipse the qualifying times now.
And there is the pit stop for Yannis Volborn. We were actually kind of surprised to see him in. Seeing that he is on the hard tyres.
So surely now, with this final stint, he's going to go to the soft tyre, which will be the faster of their available compounds. We'll see, though. He's been quick on the hards. Maybe he's going to go for durability.
This is orange. So, I think he's on the hards again.
I believe so. He seems comfortable. He seems quick in them. So this is going to be a really important stint now for Hess on the medium tyre. Can he run quick enough now to get out ahead? Even if he doesn't, chances are he's going to run his final stint on the more aggressive tyre. So it could still be close towards the end, the battle between these two.
Do you think Wellborn wanted to cover the undercut? Because now he has a clear road ahead of him, and he just can put the hammer down and set quick lap times to come out ahead of Hess and Pushka in the end again.
I imagine so. He's probably hoping that Hess and Pushka are going to maybe fight each other a little bit and slow each other down. And it would have been, wouldn't have been ideal if Hess had gotten past Wellborn before the stop. On board with Jeffrey Fournier now. Another run of 3 cars.
Oh, these 3 are still together. Remember when they came out of the pit lane and they're still together.
All running very nicely indeed. They're only 6 seconds back from Wellborn after his stop. Again, they're expecting all 3 of these to pit again. Vella's goes quicker again, 17.7. The only man lapping in the 17s at the minute. Hess and Pushka in the 18.1s, Wellborn in the 18.1s as well, so matching their pace.
But I think Benton Reader and Fournier, their pit stops were quite late, so maybe they could be going for the 1 stop. I think these were 2 of the guys that stopped very, very late.
This is the decision now, I think, for the guys on the medium tyres is do they...
Now he's
this is an opportunity now!
That is very close.
Oh, 48 has pushed Turi wide a little bit. I think ahead Benton Reader got a little bit out of shape as well. That was heavily aggressive defending there from Turi. But just within the limits, and they both keep it on the road. Wellborn there setting fastest lap. On the hard tyres, 17.3. That is half a second faster than Weller on the softs. That is an immense lap time. So if I'm Hess now, and my tyres are feeling okay, same with Pushka, I'm thinking, well, surely got to try and stay out to the end, right?
Yeah, sure. If you pit, I don't think they will win this race.
I know they'll go on the grippy super softs, but I don't think it's going to give them enough of an advantage to come back. I do really like the setup of the tyre selections for this. It does make it really interesting. It does make it intriguing.
Yeah, it really does.
We haven't said much about DRS. There are the 3 DRS zones as there are in well, typically in Formula 1. I think they're trying to put 4 in this year. But yeah, 3 DRS zones. Start, finish straight, the run between 10 and 11, which we can debate if 9 and 10 are still corners. Now it's just 2 very flat curves. And then the run between 12 and 13. But
when would be the point if they decide to pit? Where is the point of no return? Because I think it's very late right now to make a pit stop.
It is very much indeed. You think it must be too late now. Coming up to like 11 laps to go. And
yeah.
These two must be thinking of set. And I wonder if Pushka's trying to be a bit smart here with this, because I think he must know that fighting Hess is just going to push them back into Wallborn.
I'm not sure if Wallborn right now, if they all keep up their pace, if he's catching up quick enough. I'm not too sure.
So there are, well, it's technically 11 laps to go now. Wallborn sets another fastest lap.
Maybe this way he is.
Well, it would be, if, say we took a snapshot now with 10 laps to go, it would be well over a second a lap that he'd need to pull them in. And at the minute, he's not. Actually, it was at 15.9 a few seconds ago. So I wonder how maybe he's got a bit of traffic, I'm not sure. He's got clear air, so I'm not sure why he's... But it's coming down. It definitely seems to ebb and flow in certain sections of the track.
Yeah, the last lap times from Hess and Pushke were 18.7s.
It's 1.5 down.
Yeah.
That is very close. This could be a very interesting charge for the win. And how much will Wallborn have left in the tyres to try and make the moves?
Also very interesting to see what Hess and Pushka are doing right now. Let's not rather battle too much to not lose more time to Wallborn. And then maybe Pushka will try it at the end. Ooh. Benton, Reed and Turi. Yeah. Oh, and Turi gets pushed wide.
Oh, that's...
And Weller slips through.
I'm sure that Daniel might get a little bit of a tap or maybe a give the position back command there.
Yeah, I should think so too.
I don't feel like it was a mistake from Lorenzo. I think he definitely got the knock wide.
Yeah, I think there was contact. There definitely was. Oh, Pushka! So much for he will leave it late. Wow. Oof. This should work. Ooh. There was contact as well.
You were saying earlier that the racing's respectful.
Oh, he's now on the inside. He will make it. Oh, but Hess hangs on to it. Wow.
Side by side for like 4 corners there.
It's still not over.
Run down to turn 1. Here we go.
But I think that has cost them a lot of time.
It has. So now Wallborn is only 11 seconds away. But Pushka's pulled the trigger on it.
Yeah, of course, if Pushka can now go quicker.
Oh, and there was the call from the race director. Daniel Benson Reader has been asked to let Lorenzo Turi back past for that knockout at turn 14.
Yeah, and that just happens here. So Turi back into 6th.
Fournier's gotten away with that after the kind of move he's done. He's been able to pull clear. We missed where Fournier got past Benton Reader, and obviously Vella's through and clear as well. So now these two fighting over 6th when originally 4th was on the table.
Yeah, 4th is now being disputed between Fournier and Weller.
Vella is 2 stopped. He stayed on the soft tyre all the way through, so he's going to have fresher, grippier tyre compared to Fournier. So you'd expect Vella to be able to get a move done at some point.
Yeah, but don't forget, towards the end of this stint, he will also have like kind of 20 laps in, and that was when these softs really dropped off for him.
True, very true. I'm just doing a quick stream refresh on myself. I'm getting a bit of a delay.
And there goes Weller down the inside into turn 1, and that was clean and straightforward. So Weller now up into 4th.
That's a great move. Just caught that on delay, and I'm back in time now. Brilliant. Well, that was a lot more straightforward than I think even I was expecting, to be honest. Very good there.
Yeah, actually, we haven't seen that kind of move at all so far in the race. It was always turn 11, turn 13, maybe turn 3.
Yeah, definitely not into much in turn 1 today. Denny Vella of the Better Julia team. Clear now. On for a good result at the minute.
Yeah, but I think their strategy didn't work as well as they would have hoped for. Weller, of course, was leading this race early on.
Ooh, Poland! Stuck a nose in. He might still have a chance on the run down now to 13. He's definitely got more momentum. He should have DRS, I believe, as well. Hangs it out wide. Beautiful, but he's got to try and keep it around the outside of 14 to have the inside of 15. He absolutely does. Is that the move done, though? I don't think. Because Krop's got the inside now. They're side by side onto the straight. Bit sideways from Poland, and now...
Who has DRS? I think it's Krop.
I think it is Krop.
Yeah.
I'm just going to try and go extremely defensive, but Poland has managed to hold on. Is Krop going to get a chance to fight back on the run down to 3?
Wow, what a battle. They were side by side for like 5-6 corners.
There's been some brilliant racing today. There really has.
Looking at the top 3, I don't think Wilborn will make it.
Yeah, he's
Unless
not been in.
there is a dramatic drop-off for Pushka and Hess in lap times, but I don't think this will happen.
Yeah, he looked insanely quick, but it's kind of hovering around the 9-8 seconds now at the minute. Yellow flag in sector 1. We'll see if that clears and what that is. It seems to be okay. But yeah, he's not been able to do it, and I think what's really helped is Pushka was very efficient in his move. He didn't create a big battle with Hess and, cause lots of time delays. He got the move, he's managed to make it stick, and now he's got a second between him and Hess, and he's not now holding himself or Hess up. And I bet Wilborn was hoping that they would fight each other a little bit more.
Yeah, looking at the lap times, Pushka's last lap was a 1:18.2, and Wilborn had a 1:17.4. This is not good enough. This won't be enough to catch up to Pushka. And then there is now even Hess in between. And it will be close between Hess and Wilborn for P2.
Now, Poland's apparently says he's on an out lap for me, so I wonder if he's just had to serve a penalty or maybe had a track limits issue, because he was up there at an early point with Wilborn, but he's since his second stop has not been able to work his way back through. At the minute he's got the final points position. He's just taken it off Krop.
A long yellow this time in sector 3.
It seems to have cleared.
Yeah. No, but I don't think anything happened to Poland. He's still where he was. He just made it past Krop. So I don't think there was anything. Maybe just a little mistake there in the live timing.
Yeah, Poland's is on the harder tyre, but it's very much the younger compared to Krop's. So on balance, it seems that he's got the grip and the advantage. He's driving well.
Yeah, he does.
As mentioned, this championship is not just about what goes on track. All of these cars have got different design philosophies, and they have a virtual budget and engineering and development points. And what's really important is for everyone, there's more virtual budget given for finishing in the top 8 in these races. So this will be really useful for everyone who gets in that top 8 today to help develop the car over the course of the season.
There was a lot of dust there on the approach to turn 11. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, no, I didn't. And Fournier... Oh, no, Fournier was down. Yeah, we saw the move from Weller. Staying with Weller, though, considering that Weller's, on the softer tyre. Like you said, it might come back around. This might be an interesting fight in the closing stages if those soft tyres suddenly start to go off worse than Fournier's mediums. And this could be what you're referring to, Robin.
Ah, okay. Yeah, just crop a little offline. Nothing dramatic.
Yeah, fortunately innocuous there.
Yeah. Prop has really had enough bad luck today.
Yeah, you wonder what his race could have been there without the unfortunate tangle with Philip Feckler.
He was right up there with his teammates. He could have finished on the podium. At least.
Definitely. Actually, yeah, just to confirm, it's the top 8 for points. It's actually the top 10 for additional virtual budget. So actually, really important that Von Wendt can stay there, and he will get some extra budget for his team. Oof.
Something happened to Poland's. He received a penalty, probably for track limits, and he lost the spot to Krop.
I wonder if he's tried to back out to avoid the penalty, and it's not been enough.
No, something looks odd. Something looks odd about his car and the way it drives.
Ooh. He's had to slow on there to make sure he hits the limiter. Yeah, I'm not sure.
He was really slow through that last sector, wasn't he?
Here we go. Let's see exactly what happened here.
Of course, turn 11 and 12. Yeah, okay.
He's had to bail right out.
Then...
So he's tried, obviously, to slow down. That's an interesting one because, obviously, he's not gained an advantage in terms of he was already ahead. It's not like he took the place. So he slowed enough to think, okay, I'll just try and give back the gap. But obviously the game has still punished him as saying, that's not enough. That's, So 6 seconds separates the top 3. Hess is very much losing ground on Pushka. Wallborn gaining ground. But with 2 laps to go.
That was a track limit.
He's definitely pushing to try and get something back. He's gone with it for the hard tyre to push for the end. I suppose the question has to be asked. Yes, he's pushing the car hard and he's been quick on the hard tyre, but he had the soft available to him. Why did he not want to go on the soft that final stint to really go on the attack if he knew he was going to be doing one extra stop in Pushka and Hess, unless he assumed they would stop as well?
Maybe that Team Holland Racing Team car is a bit hard to the tyres. I mean, they both were on the hard compound for the entire race, if I remember correctly, and they still made 2 pit stops.
And obviously they both looked incredibly quick in qualifying.
And also Wallborn's lap times are not as quick anymore as they were in the beginning, so there really was kind of a drop. And Pushka really has been very, very consistent on that medium. He's still setting 118.3s.
So I think last lap might have been a 118.1 as well. That's excellent.
It already is the final lap now for Philip Pushkin. There's no one there to beat him. Incredible.
Oh, we thought it might end up being quite a close fight between, Walborn and who was going to stop again, but actually the right decision was to stay out, and it's a one-stopping Philip Pushka at the minute who leads the field by 4 seconds. And he's driven brilliantly. It's an interesting. It's certainly not been an event for both him and Volborn, both looking quick in qualifying, but then taking penalties. Pushka would have started on the front row. He would have been second. He had a setup change that sent him all the way to the back, and Volborn absolutely flew up the grid, flew up the order, and we thought, oh well, he could just win it from the back. And Pushka just slowly went about his business and didn't seem like he was going to do much, but in fact, he's got himself right in the right place at the right time. One stop all the way to P1. The first ever WMSC winner is Philip Pushka for Epic Scuderia. Congratulations. Hess comes across second and Volborn in third, only 3 seconds behind in the end. A couple more laps and he might have put up a fight. Weller comes home fourth, Fournier in fifth. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. They're still racing. Let's think.
But Weller, I think now we can say he held on to fourth.
He has held on. There was definitely a drop-off in those tyres towards the end, but he's managed to hold on. So I wasn't incorrect. Weller fourth, Fournier fifth. Turi home in sixth. And his Benton Reed just behind. And Kropp manages to get the last points position after, it has to be said, a very difficult day for him. But he's managed to come away with a point. Von Vent ends up with 9th. Great result for him and Maniti Racing. Poland's can only manage 10th, but at least it's a 10th place that will get them some virtual budget to help develop the car. So very useful for Team Holland. I mean, not that they needed it. They've been very strong already.
Tough luck for Murno in 11th.
He's having a solid race. And it's, he had a couple of track limits penalties.
But once again, as we see the final results, congratulations to Philip Pushka for a very well managed race. Only until the very end he was considered to be able to win this race, and he did.
Fantastic bit of work. And, before the race we were thinking, both of the drivers for that Epic Scuderia team have got potential.
Oh, what's going on here?
That's not Pushka doing a celebratory donuts, or is it his teammate? I'm not sure. But yeah, amazing.
I think here are the celebratory
It is.
donuts.
Here we go. That's what we want. Philip Pushka, your first ever WMSC race winner. Fantastic result for him. A former competitor in the Virtual Le Mans 24, a slightly unknown quantity with full of potential, but then showed his hand in qualifying with an incredible second place, made a setup change for the race which sent him to the back. He managed to work his way through very slowly and managed one stop race. A fantastic bit of work.
At the beginning of this race, or in qualifying, you said he might become some kind of a dark horse in this championship. I don't think he is anymore. After that performance, you really have to consider him a serious title challenger.
I'm just having a look through Epic Scuderia. Well, it looks like the only team now to have. Oh no, the SCM guys have both finished. So yeah, Epic Scuderia and SCMM guys both with double points finishes.
Beta Julia as well, 4th and 7th.
Oh, Beta Julia have as well. Oh, that's not bad at all. And then, I think the only man who's not Scuderia Cesario, I think Lorenzo Turi was driving alone today. I don't think he had a teammate with him on the grid.
Only 2 DNFs as well. That's good. It was mostly a clean race. So, yeah, pretty exciting race we've seen here.
I'm going to see if we can get Philip to join us. still in the TeamSpeak server, so we were going to see if we can get him on with us. A fantastic race. It's been an absolutely brilliant opening round. We said there was going to be a lot of intrigue. It wasn't just going to be about, what the guys did on track. There was going to be some thoughts for, strategy. And I believe we are now joined by race winner Filip Pushka. Filip, congratulations. How was that for you out there?
Yeah, I mean, it feels obviously nice. Didn't really expect it like this. After the qualifying, I had to decide either go with like the lowest possible radiator or just scrap it and start from the last place and then be safe to finish the race. And I did that. So yeah, I mean, it was the right decision in the end, obviously, because I won as well. It could have been the bad decision in the end, but yeah, pace was nice. A little bit too much sliding, but we'll fix it for the next lap, next race.
Yeah, it was an incredible qualifying for you as well. You only set 4 laps, which was some of the fewest laps in there, but set a really high benchmark early on. Was there any decision in terms of why you decided not to go out and set another time? Were you happy, or were you more concerned about the setup at that point?
No, it was just like a mistake again, because I just didn't really read the rules. So I had to I did have too little fuel, so I had to stop doing laps, and that was like the last lap I could have done. Otherwise the fuel would have been tight already and did not finish the race, wouldn't have finished the race. So it was the only way to go. I could have been like half a second faster, I think, but I couldn't run, so I had to stop. But in the end, it did really better because I decided to break Park Ferme and then obviously start from last place, because I had the setting wrong as well in the setup, the radiator. So yeah, in the end, it didn't really hurt me too much, but obviously shouldn't have happened in the first place.
No, it's not a bad result considering you've made 2 mistakes there and still managed to come out with a pretty good result. The move on Hess was fantastic to take the lead at the end. From our perspective, we were seeing obviously Walbaum was in the mix and then stopped for the hard tyres. Were you concerned about him charging and about the fight between you and Hess backing into him, or was your focus purely on just getting past Hess at the end?
I knew that I had to pass him now, because obviously Janus was catching, and I knew if I did not, I could have been, I knew I had more pace, but to get obviously fast, I have to pass him to use that pace. So I knew if I get past, I'm in for the win, because then I have enough pace that Janus cannot catch me. But if I stay behind, obviously he catches us both. Maybe, I thought so. And obviously I have to get by. I had to get by anyway to win the race. So I had 50-60 seconds boost left. So I used it at least 10 or 20 seconds in that straight to surprise him in the end. It did work somehow, because I got alongside him, and then we were 3 or 4 corners alongside each other. But yeah, pretty nice racing. I think it was really tight, because if I had a few centimeters to the left and the fast left right, I clipped the anti-curb and I fly in the air. So it was pretty tight, but it did work out in the end. So yeah, happy, obviously happy, and looking forward to the next races.
Absolutely. It's been a fantastic first round. Congratulations again, Filip. We'll let you go, but yeah, great drive today. Very well done.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, very interesting first race there, Robin. Honestly, lots of interesting takeaways. It was really interesting. It's great to see that no one team has absolutely flown away with it at any point, that there's still plenty of time for things to change with the development of the teams and cars throughout the season. It's been incredible. It's been a really good first round of this championship.
Yeah, I agree. I think we've seen that 4 or 5 teams maybe even are capable of winning races. I mean, just look at how many different race leaders we had and how many people were competing for the win. It was just absolutely fantastic watching this race, and it had a lot of ups and downs and plot twists and people getting into the fight that we haven't expected before. So it really had everything, and it was indeed, we've said this before, very clean as well, which is always good to see.
Yeah, it was fantastic to see up and down the field that the racing was really respectful. But it was hard and it was quite tight. There were a couple of moments when listened to the race directors. They've a lot of people have kind of come out and said, they've owned up to any mistakes they've made. And it's been a really strong first round of this championship. And we don't have long to wait for round 2. As you can see, next round, 26th of March, we head to Kyalami. What a brilliant circuit that is. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, I do hope you'll join us. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you very much, Robin, for your help today. This is
thanks for having me.
Oh no, I think it's safe to say it now at the end of the stream. This is both of our first times ever commentating live. So I hope that wasn't too apparent to everyone who stuck with us. But we gave it our best, and that was a lot of fun. And I hope, I really enjoyed watching that. So I hope everyone else did too.
Yeah. Also, thank you for having me. Thanks for inviting us to be commentators for this race. And thank you for everyone who watched. And I think, we're all looking forward to Kyalami.
Absolutely, we are. Congratulations again, Philip Pushka. See you in South Africa. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.